All right, Bree. Where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Right outside of Seattle in Washington.
What was your childhood like? You had both your parents?
Not really. My dad raised me.
Where was mom?
In Spokane. She's from Spokane, and she was just around when she wanted to be.
Were drugs a part of her life or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get to know your mom at all, or she was gone most of the time?
Mm, I got to know her when she wanted to, but we always went to her parents' house. I got a sister. She knows her. Like, when my parents got divorced, she wouldn't let my dad have my sister because it wasn't his biological daughter. So she kept my sister. So my sister knows her more than we do. But when I was like 16, 17, I went to go live with her. And then from there, I just came out here.
How would you describe your childhood?
It was not bad. It was pretty good. Very family oriented. Because my dad has four brothers and five sisters. So he's very family oriented. He's Filipino. So their family's everything. It's just
How far did you go in school?
high school. I completed high school. Nothing after that.
And then how did you get into doing sex work?
I was working 2 jobs and I was getting tired, and it was a boyfriend I met, and he was from Vallejo, the Bay, and he had other friends that had girls that did it, and I was just getting tired of working and waiting for money, so we just told him, let's do it, let's try it.
Was he a pimp?
No.
No.
He sold dope. So we learned it together.
And you've been doing it how long?
Off and on since, let's see, for at least 5 years. Yeah. Off and on, because I went to jail for almost 2 years. And so, took a break for that. But then came out here and still doing it. It's not as, but in the beginning it was fun. The fast money, everything, it was fun in the beginning. Now it's just like survival, not as fun. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not really fun no more. It was fun in the beginning.
Are drugs a part of your life?
Yes and no. Like if someone else is doing it, yeah, I'm a party with them. But if it was up to me, like if I'm by myself and not with the crowd that does it, then no. Just weed.
Yeah.
But if I'm around other people that do it, then, influence.
What kind of things does a girl need to know doing this kind of work? There's all kinds of dangers out there, a lot of...
Yeah. You really got to be on your toes. People may seem, don't ever do drugs with them. When they ask you to party, don't do that shit with them. Because it just turns the whole atmosphere around with them. Then they're going to try to control you, try to pay you like that. They're going to use it against you.
If you had guys, kidnap you or beat you and all that kind of stuff?
One time, when I first came out here, and I was on Fig, it was probably the first month I was on Fig, I had the worst week ever. A car pulled up, on the corner, blocking me, and then another car pulled up, and the guy jumped out of one of the cars and threw me in the other car. And so we were going down Fig, and when we were at the light, I started taking my shoes off. When he saw me trying to open the door when it was a red light, I was about to jump out. When he saw me jump out, he just ran the red light, just gassed up, and next thing I know is there was another guy picking me up off the ground. I was laid out flat like this. I probably wouldn't, because he snatched my phone, everything, every contact I have, he took everything from me. So I probably wasn't going to be able to get out from there. And then I think a night or two after that, another guy came out with a gun and forced me in the car. I guess we drove all the way to, he jumped on the freeway and drove all the way to Carson and zip tied me and then left me there. That's like the worst week ever.
Had you worked with a pimp? No?
Not really. Like, the person that brought me out here, he was going back and forth to Spokane. You know the Moxie pills? He was bringing those out there. That's how I met him, through my friends out there. And then I started running back and forth the money and the pills back and forth for him. And then that's how I got out here. I just never left. I like California, though. Just, some of the people are just nasty.
How does prostitution in Washington State and in Los Angeles compare?
Out here is more cheap. This is like I want to say like back out here, you got the streets you can walk down. Back home, there's streets like that, but it's not very common like to be walking on the street to catch a date. It's more internet and everything. Because I was working just the internet when I was back home, back in Washington. Because, it's always raining out there and everything, so it's more internet than it is walking the streets. Or you go to a bar, but it's more harder that way. Out here, you can walk down the street, anybody will try to pick you up and try to pay you cheap for a date.
Do you recall your very first time doing it?
Yeah, the first time I caught a date on Fig, I damn near cried. It was 2 Mexicans, and they wanted to only pay me, I think it was $40, 40 and 40. I couldn't, because I was so used to just $100. And then when come out here, it's like 40, 60, if that. And you got to argue with them to even get $60, $80.
Do you have children?
I got one child. I got a boy. He just turned 13 last June. Damn near as tall as me.
Have you been raising him?
I pay for everything that he did, everything he needs. I go back and forth every few weeks. I go back and forth home, stay a week or two.
He's where? In
Spokane.
In Spokane.
Spokane, Washington.
What kind of emotions do you deal with?
Kind of what?
What kind of emotions do you deal with from doing this kind of work? Does it make you depressed or angry or?
I want to say probably more depressed, because it's like they degrade you because they're paying you. So it's like they give them the right to degrade you and talk down to you. And then, I don't know. It's just like out here is like a different crowd. Like all the guys will at home it's more like you don't really talk about it. You don't really tell them like you do that kind of work, because it's like you're more embarrassed that you do it. Out here it's just, it don't matter. You don't care. They don't care. It don't matter. But it's like they treat you different. It's just weird. It's weird to me because back home you keep it more quiet about it. You don't want people to know, because then it's more, you might run into somebody and you don't want them to know about it. Then you gotta hide it from people. You don't like your close family and friends. Out here, it's different. It's just like, it don't matter. It really don't.
Is it a lonely life?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, because I'll be by myself a lot. It gets boring. Because you really don't have nobody but yourself and the people who call you.
What do you think of the men that pick you up?
Some of them are really cool, and some of them are just like, disgusting. I hate it when a fat person picks me up because they smell the worst. It's like they don't shower or nothing.
What's the hardest part of doing this kind of work for you?
The hardest part? Probably when it's not like that. It's not really hard anymore. It's like I'm so used to it.
You get desensitized to all the dangers, probably.
Yeah, you could. That's when I came out here. You got to be on your toes, so you can't really if you don't feel right the minute you jump in, you got to get out, because you never know. If I don't feel right by just talking to you, I'm not going. And it could have been a good one, it could have been a bad one. But if I don't feel right, I'm just not going to do it.
You got to follow your intuition.
You really do, because if you don't, that's when the bad things happen.
What do you think most people that are from outside this world don't understand about girls that do this kind of work?
That you don't understand is just, they're doing it to take care of themselves, take care of their family. It's no different than someone standing on the corner selling fruit. To me, it's like the same thing. You're out there trying to make money to support your family. But people see it more as, some people see it as disgusting. Not so much disgusting, like, degrading. I don't even know the word for it. It's like no good, But I understand. But they really don't know what we go through until they've been in that situation.
Do you think you're addicted to this lifestyle?
Yeah, because it's fast money.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to put that down, right?
It really is. It really is, because you're so used to getting them. It comes fast. Just as fast as it comes, just as fast as it goes. So you get addicted to, I can go over here and sit outside for an hour and make $100, $200, then go sit at a job and work all day long, and you got to wait till payday to get your money. It's like you get paid right then and there. It's just a little bit more dangerous, because you never know what's going to happen.
What was the best time of your life?
What was the best time of my life?
Mm-hmm.
Probably when I first started. It was fun because the money was coming in so fast. I was blowing it so fast, buying everything my son wanted, anything he needed. Now it's just like, when he needs something, it's like, I got to go to work and see what I can do. It's not coming as fast as it used to. It's different. It really is different. But it is addicting, because you can't stop, because if you need the money, it's fast. Then working a 9 to 5. 9 to 5, you just got to sit and wait for your paycheck. And even then, it's gone by the time you get paid. Working this way is like, you work and get your money right then, and then you can buy whatever you want with it. When you get a paycheck, it's basically already gone, because you're working all them week hours, and then when you get paid, you got to pay this, you got to pay that. I guess in a way it's the same thing, but you get extra. I guess it's extra money, because a paycheck is pretty much gone on bills and everything. When you work, you can just work if you want to go party or something. When you get a paycheck, it's like you got to pay this first and that first, and then you can party, and you might not even have nothing afterwards. But if I could work, I'd still work and do this on the side. It's crazy, because before I started doing this, I was working as a CNA in a nursing home, like a assisted living home. And then started doing this.
Do you feel like doing this kind of work kind of prevents you from finding love in your life?
A little bit. Kinda. It's just like, when you do find someone, they either got to accept it or help you get out, and even then they can't even help you, because they can't provide what you need, because you're so addicted to that money and what you want. You can just go out there and go do a date and go get what you want. If you're with somebody, it's like you can't go out and make your money because they don't want you to. Then you lose your love, because you can't stop.
How many of your clients are married, do you think?
More than half of them. A lot of them are. Most of them are.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Most of them are.
What has that taught you about men doing this kind of work?
Not all of them are loyal to their wives. They're cheating all the time. Because a lot of them will tell you, don't call me. Don't call me. Wait till I call you. You get me in trouble, and then I can't come. So then I'm like thinking in my head, like, if that was my husband, I'd kill him. Hell yeah.
What advice would you give to a young girl who's thinking about doing this kind of work?
Don't do it. Because you're going to end up either on drugs or you can't stop. Don't do it. Go to school. And I wouldn't tell them to do it. Because you don't really get nothing out of it. By the time you want to stop, you're old and you can't even really, by the time you want to stop, you should have been set in your career. You can't just go to school at like 50 and then decide you could, but you couldn't, You can't go to school and then expect to have a good job, but now you're going to have to work the rest of your life. The only thing that's not so good about this is you're not going to get a 401k as you would if you went to school and got a real job. Being educated and go get a job.
It's interesting how many people...
Because we're not going to have a retirement, You will if you go to school and do that job, You're going to have that 401k and retirement. We're not. Our retirement's whatever we save. More likely, it's not going to be nothing because we blow money so fast because it's as fast as it comes, as fast as it goes.
It's interesting that of all the people I've interviewed, I don't think any of them have told me they're really saving money.
No.
They're making good money, it seems.
You're making good money, but you're not thinking about saving it. You know what you got, and then most people want like a $400 purse. That's what I used to spend my money on, purses and shit. And then, most of the time you got to get a room, so you're sitting, your money is going to go quick. As fast as you get it, as fast as it's been spent. It really is. You're not thinking about saving it. No, you're not. We really ain't.
And Bree, what would you say is the most important thing you've learned in your life?
In this?
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm going to be 32 in a couple months.
What have you learned in 32 years? What's the most important thing you've learned?
You really got to follow your instincts. If you don't follow your instincts, you're really going to get fucked off. Because there's times where I was like, I should have listened. I should have listened to them, and now you're making me think real hard. I don't know, if I was to mentor somebody, I'd tell them, I would try to keep them away from it, because it's, once you get that taste of it, you're not going to want to stop. You really ain't. Because the money comes fast, but it's not going to always be there. You're going to get burnt out. See, now it's to me, like I said, it's not fun no more. It's just like a drag sometimes. Because the people you got to deal with, who you got to deal with, it's just like when you're sick and don't want to go to work.
And it's dangerous.
It really is. I'm telling you, sometimes when I got to go meet somebody, it's like, oh, I don't want to deal with them. I really don't feel like it. But then you got to because you need that money. I wouldn't tell nobody to go do it. I really wouldn't.
All right, Bree. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I wish you the best of luck out there.
Yeah, because the way I grew up, I know my father was disappointed in me because I was raised better than that. I wouldn't recommend it. Really, you're going to lose a lot of people that are close to you.
Are you still in contact with your family? And they know you're doing this?
They do, but we don't talk about it. My dad, I was really close to my dad. I was a daddy's girl. And he don't even talk to me. He does, but he doesn't. And it hurts because I know how it feels. I actually finally realized it's not so much like he's disappointed in me because I was raised better than that, but then I understand he must feel like he failed. Your daughter's doing this when she grew up like this. I had everything I wanted. He worked hard. There's times he had 3 jobs. And then for me to end up like this, it's like he failed in raising me. So it's like hard. You know, you're gonna lose your family. You really are. Thank you. I don't mean to cry, but that's a touchy subject. It really is.
Yeah, shame's a big one.
It is. It's more like when he still speaks to me. It's not like I lost him all the way. It's just not the same like it used to be. It really isn't. And now that I'm telling you, now that I think about it, it's not so much as that he failed in raising me. It's how he feels, He failed. It's like he's not so much disappointed. It's just like it must make. I think it's like more like he worked so hard to raise me, to give me what I wanted, and now that I'm grown and the way I was raised, it's like I should have never been like this. And I understand now, but it's like you lose that closeness with your family. It's like they don't really want to see you like that. I don't know. It's just hard. Cause for the longest time ever, we didn't know my mom. My mom was doing it, and she didn't start until like we were like, I don't know. It's just weird because they talk so much down on my mom because we saw her out on the streets one time on the street called Sprague in Spokane. And it's mostly like, the women you see out there is mostly like drug addicts. So when they're a drug addict, it's like, that's what they're doing. They're working for drugs. So it's crazy. But yeah. So,
All right, Bree. Thank you so much for
You're
sharing your story.
welcome.
Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That shit's crazy though.